Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1115.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we have to talk about, is crypto over as an investment? Because I sense that we're close to some kind of a major capitulation where people are really wondering, is this real? Is this fake? Is this a scam? What's going on? Is there real potential here? And that is so unfortunate, but I completely understand because we have had a horrible situation with FTX pulling off a huge fraud. And this is bigger than Bernie Madoff. The dollar amount involved, the number of people involved, what they did and how they did it was just enormous. And I really don't think we've seen all of it play out yet. I think there's much more to come because I believe that it's connected very, very closely to Wall Street. That's something we'll talk about in a minute. But what I want to do is try to separate out the crypto or the digital assets that have real investment opportunity versus the rest. Because there are only a handful that I really believe strongly in. So strongly that I had to write about them and tell you all about them. Because I felt that the potential was something I had never seen before. And I still believe everything to be true that I wrote about. And now the case is even stronger than ever. So I'm going to make this a longer podcast today because I want to cover a lot of territory that I just think needs to be said. Because if you feel disheartened or if you feel like you're wondering if this is real, I want to share with you the facts to show you absolutely the things that we have talked about are more impactful than ever, are more necessary than ever, and have more potential for investment opportunity than ever. Now, I've already done a couple of podcasts about FTX, so I'm not going to recover a lot of what I've already covered, but I do want to make the point that the media is painting all cryptocurrency with a very broad brush. They're trying to say all of crypto is bad, all of crypto is a hoax, all of crypto is a scam, and that's just not true. Like I shared with you in an earlier podcast, yes, there are some bad eggs that happen from time to time. A company called Enron was such a company years ago, and it was in the S&P 500. It was supposed to be audited and for real and doing things by the book and being legitimate. But it wasn't. It was a fraudulent company. And we've also used the example of Bernie Madoff. There's thousands of reputable financial advisors in the world, but Bernie Madoff was not one of them. And that doesn't make everyone else illegitimate. So we have to be careful that one bad egg doesn't spoil the whole bunch. Not only that, but this shows us that cryptocurrency needs to be more peer-to-peer, that we need less centralized situations like exchanges that are in control. Because when you have humans involved, you have the ability for emotion and corruption and for things to go wrong. But when you have something that simply is transacting peer-to-peer and it's automated, you eliminate all of that. And that is one of the strengths of the digital age. We don't really need exchanges. I mean, we do right now because we're still in the infancy of cryptocurrency. So we're converting from a bank to an exchange to go into crypto. But in the future, we'll probably just be more peer-to-peer, and that additional friction, as they call it, will be removed. Now, when I discovered ISO 20022 and that it was an open global standard for financial information, it definitely caught my attention. And then when I really understood it was a global and open standard that created a common language for payments worldwide, well, I really understood the improvement that it could make over the current SWIFT system, because fully 6% of transactions that are sent over the SWIFT system have errors and have to manually be corrected. And that is a huge number when you're doing millions of transactions a day. And what a standardized messaging system is going to do is allow quality data to be transferred with perfection, with no errors whatsoever, the way the XRP ledger has operated. It also means improved fraud prevention measures. And that again is going to take us to the next level where we can eliminate certain types of fraud. It has worldwide adoption. It's supporting end-to-end automation. And it has more transparency for a better customer experience and for more accurate compliance as well. So this next level technology is going to eliminate some of the corruption that we have just discovered and that has been going on in the banking system for a very long time. Now, CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has said 90% of cryptocurrencies will probably go away, and I completely agree with that. And the reason I believe he said that is because many cryptocurrencies were simply created as speculative vehicles. They were simply created to trade at one price or another so that traders could take advantage in some ways of price manipulation, play on people's emotions. You've heard of pump and dump schemes. It was the Wild West and not very regulated in the sense that Wall Street firms in particular could get away with using greater percentages of leverage than they can under most securities regulations. They could be using algorithms to trade. They could essentially operate in pure speculation. But that's not what this is really about. Digital assets and this technology is more about taking the friction out of the market, making it faster, making it happen more accurately with speed, serving more people so that you don't have to have a bank account. Believe it or not, today there's still billions of people that don't have access to banking situations, but they do have access to a phone. And something that can store value on their telephone is going to be much easier for them and provide access to funds in a way that's more simple, faster, less expensive than trying to connect with a bank. Ideally, that should bring more prosperity to people as they have more access to capital for a lower cost. And I believe it's these kinds of cryptocurrencies that have real use cases, that really solve problems, that have low fees and are green projects. They don't use a lot of energy. They're fast. They're scalable. These are the next level of money and value. But I can assure you, it's not just me and my opinion. Let's look at the credibility that some of the wealthiest people on the planet have already given to cryptocurrency because they've made big investments in it. I've done podcasts about how Warren Buffett may not be directly invested in crypto, but he is invested in the financial institutions that are invested in crypto. And now I'm going to share with you just a laundry list, a random account of things that happened in October. But what it's going to show you is who's adopting crypto and what is the rate of adoption? How much money are they putting into these projects? And where is this coming from? You see, if this weren't being adopted by the wealthiest and by the most powerful people, you might wonder if it's really going to go anywhere or if it is just a scam. But because the people that are already in power are adopting this, you can see a pattern that they're looking at this as a growth opportunity and as a smart investment opportunity. You know, the internet grew at 60% per year, but cryptocurrencies are growing at about 110% per year. So it's almost double the rate of the growth of the internet. And that had some spectacular investment opportunities, as we all know. We're still so early on in this process. But listen to these investments that happened in October. Bank of New York Mellon began crypto custody for select customers. Fidelity enabled Ethereum trading for institutional clients. Twitter allowed buying and selling of NFTs through tweets. Cash App adds support for Bitcoin Lightning Network. Binance CZ invested $500 million with Elon Musk to buy Twitter. Google allowed some customers to pay for cloud services with crypto via Coinbase in early 2023. Google also announced blockchain node service starting with Ethereum. Apple issued new App Store rules for crypto and NFT payments. Accounting Standards Board, FASB, allowed for fair value treatment of crypto assets, ending crypto impairment charges. Uniswap Labs raised $165 million in a Series B funding round led by Polychain. Celestia Lab raised $55 million at a $1 billion valuation led by Bain Capital and Polychain. Blockchain developer platform Tatum raised $41.5 million led by Evolution Equity Partners. Blockchain gaming startup Horizon raised $40 million led by Brevin Howard Morgan Creek. Blockchain.com raised undisclosed amount of capital at undisclosed valuation led by Kingsway Capital. Block Tower launched a $150 million venture fund backed by BPI France and MassMutual. Okay, that's just a random list of things that happened in October in the crypto space. So you can see the amount of money that's going in, the various financial institutions involved. The crypto industry is not dead because there was one bad actor in FTX, albeit they were a big bad actor. That was a very large amount of money that has been lost, and I do still think there's going to be more effects from this. However, the crypto industry is alive and well for those projects that solve problems, that have real utility, that are going to be scalable and the big winners. And you know, my very favorite that follows that description is XRP. And just today, Ripple investor SBI Holdings, which is a company that is also owned by Warren Buffett, he owns shares in SBI Holdings, they created a joint venture with Jungle X for sports betting using NFTs. So we got big news today from a Ripple partner. Now we also had a very strange thing happen over the weekend. On Sunday morning, Maria Bartiromo of Fox News reported that a settlement with Ripple and the SEC case would be announced today. She mentioned this while speaking with a crypto industry expert who knew nothing about the possibility of Ripple's case being settled. So where Maria Bartiromo got this information that there was supposed to be an announcement about the settlement of the case, we don't know. But now, Brad Garlinghouse has denied that it's true. The woman who was being interviewed when Maria Bartiromo brought it up has said she knows nothing about it, so it falls squarely on Fox's shoulders. Who at Fox told Maria Bartiromo that Ripple was about to announce a settlement with the SEC? And where did they get that information? We don't know, but we have been told the information is false. And we also know that this week, Ripple is having their big corporate meeting, Ripple Swell, on Wednesday and Thursday in London. Could this be an announcement they wanted to make at their meeting? That's possible. But nonetheless, we don't have any proof or evidence of the settlement yet. So we'll hope that those rumors come true. But for right now, unfortunately, they're not. In spite of that, I just wanted to share with you my thoughts about why the cryptocurrencies that I've been a big fan of, particularly the ISO 20022 cryptocurrencies, are still my favorites. I still see them as viable. I still see them as the leaders of the future. I still see them as the best use cases for transferring funds in the future. It's up to you to do your own research and see if this is something that makes sense for you to invest in. All I can do is call it to your attention. But I also want to dispel any misnomers or any false information that's put out there, because there is a lot of false information that travels around, and you do have to do your own research to get the facts. I'm here to help you do that and help you sort out the fear, uncertainty, and doubt so that you can hold on through the long term and realize the exceptional long-term value that I think these assets will offer for serious investors who are able to keep a long-term view. They're not for short-term speculation. They're going to be extremely volatile. But if you understand what you hold, why you hold it, and what role it's going to play in the future, hopefully you have the confidence that no matter what is thrown at you or what they try to do to shake you out of this or how they try to tell you this really isn't going to be the thing that's going to create millions of dollars in the future, if you can separate the fact from the fiction, you'll be an informed investor, and that's the most powerful investor that you can be. And I'm here to be with you all along the way and help you during that process. So I hope that you can see why I believe that this may be presenting one of the best times to invest in certain cryptocurrencies that have utility that we may ever see again. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.